When was the last time you walked into a movie theater without knowing a single thing about the film that you were going to go see? I used to do this all the time, and I loved it. But no trailer, no reviews, not even a glimpse of the poster. Just you, a bucket of popcorn, maybe some M&Ms, and the promise of a story that was about to unfold. I mean, that sounds pretty fun, right? I mean, it is a pretty unique evening, even if you have nothing else to do. But there's this mix of anticipation and nervousness as the lights dim. Will it be a comedy that has you laughing until your sides hurt? Maybe a drama that moves you to tears? Or maybe it's just a genre-bending masterpiece that leaves you questioning everything you thought you knew. And so as the opening credits roll, your mind is open. It's ready for everything, right? I mean, you're fully present. You're taking it all in, taking in every moment as they come. And you have no preconceived notions of what's going to happen next. Now, what if we could approach life's uncertainties with this same sense of openness and popcorn curiosity, right? What if instead of frantically Googling for spoilers about our future, we could lean into the unknown with the spirit of, I don't know, what comes next? Life, my friends, it's a lot like that mystery movie. We can make educated guesses, but we never truly know what the next scene is going to bring. And while that uncertainty can feel scary, it's also where the magic happens. It's in those unscripted moments that we often find our greatest joys, our most profound growth, and our most unexpected wins. But how do we stay calm, right? How do we stay calm when it feels like we're watching a thriller and we are desperately wanting to know if everything turns out okay in the end? How do we resist the urge to walk out of the theater when the plot takes a turn we didn't see coming? Well, let's find out. I'm Chad Lawson, and let's calm it down in 3, 2, 1. Let's talk about uncertainty just for a moment. Our brains are like eager moviegoers who've become accustomed to reading spoilers before watching the film, right? We crave predictability, and it's almost a survival mechanism left over from our caveman days. When faced with the unknown, our ancient alarm systems, they would kick in as if we have suddenly found ourselves in a horror movie that, we didn't sign up for. But here's the thing. While our modern world may not actually have monsters jumping out from behind the screen, at least I hope, it does have a whole lot of plot twist, right? I mean, change is constant. Carefully laid plans fall through, and sometimes life just throws us curveballs that would make even the most creative screenwriter raise an eyebrow. So how do we stay in our seats, right? Popcorn in hand, when we have no idea what the next scene is going to bring? Well, first, we have to acknowledge that feeling anxious in the face of uncertainty, totally normal, right? There's nothing new about that. It's like that moment in a suspenseful film when the music starts to build and you know something is about to happen, but you don't know what. So you take a deep breath and you give yourself permission to feel whatever comes up. Could be fear, could be frustration, even excitement. But when we accept these emotions rather than fighting them, we create space for a more balanced perspective to emerge. Now think back to a time when you successfully navigated a period that was uncertain in your life. Maybe you moved to a new city or started a challenging job or faced a health scare. Right? How did you get through it? Well, chances are you tapped into the reserves of strength and resourcefulness that you didn't even know you had. And like an unlikely hero rising to the occasion in the third act of a great film, you rose. Well, here's a little secret. That strength, guess what? It's still there. It's a part of you, ready to be called upon whenever you need it. The key is learning how to access it when the chaos of life, when the chaos of uncertainty, when it threatens to overwhelm us. One thing I like to think through is this one strategy is to focus on what you can control. I tell my kids this all the time. If even the other night I said, what do I always say? And they repeated it without even me prompting, giving the hint. But focus on what you can control rather than getting lost in the what ifs of an unknown future. When I'm feeling adrift, I like to make a list of small, concrete actions that I can take right now. It's like focusing on enjoying your popcorn, right? And the comfort of your seat when you're not sure where the plot's going, right? You're like, hey, you know what? I'm just going to focus on what I have in front of me. Popcorn in a really comfy chair. Or maybe it's reaching out to a friend for support, right? Researching options for a decision that you're going through. Maybe you know someone that's been in your place before, or just taking care of my physical health through exercise and good nutrition, right? That's something that I know that I can actively be doing in the hopes of a better ending of the movie. But these small steps, they create a sense of forward motion, even when the bigger picture feels a little unclear. And then there's another approach, which is to reframe uncertainty as an opportunity for growth. I know, it's cliche as it sounds. Well, it's cliche for a reason. Reframe uncertainty as an opportunity for growth. Think about it. Some of life's most beautiful moments come from the unexpected twists and turns, that chance encounter that led to a lifelong friendship, that setback that pushed you towards a more fulfilling path. These are the plot points that make our personal stories rich, that make our stories have meaning. So I want to invite you to try something with me. The next time that you are faced with a situation where the outcome is uncertain, take a deep breath and ask yourself, what if this turns out better than I could have imagined? I'm going to say that again. What if this turns out better than I could have imagined? Allow yourself to entertain the idea that the unknown, it might hold something wonderful, even if you can't see it yet. It's like giving yourself permission to enjoy a movie, even if you don't know how it ends. It's okay. Enjoy the movie. Now, of course, staying calm in the face of chaos, this takes practice. It's a muscle that we need to strengthen over time, like building up the courage to watch increasingly intense thrillers. I still cannot do horror movies. I still cannot. But one way to build this resilience is through mindful exercises. Even just a few minutes of focused breathing or meditation, it can help you anchor you into the present moment, rather than getting lost in that downward spiral of anxious thoughts about the unknown future. What if this turns out better than I could have imagined? And guess what? You don't have to have all of the answers right now. You don't. I read the other day this wonderful quote that says, you don't have enough information to panic about this yet, which I thought was great. But sometimes the bravest thing that we can do is just stay in our seat, keep your eyes on the screen, and then trust that the story, it's going to unfold as it's supposed to. You don't have to have all the answers right now. So as we get to the closing credits of our time together, I want to leave you with a challenge. This week, I invite you to embrace one small area of uncertainty in your life. Maybe it's trying a new hobby, right, that you've been curious about, or having a conversation that you have been putting off, or yes, even going to go see a movie that you know nothing about. I love seeing movies. Notice how it feels to step into the unknown, even in a small way. What fears come up? What unexpected joys or discoveries might you find? And guess what? You're probably not the only one that's sitting in this theater. At least not the only one in this theater of life. We're all watching our own unique stories unfold, sometimes holding our breaths, and sometimes cheering, sometimes crying, sometimes reaching out for a friend's hand when things get scary. But I believe in you, And I'm rooting for your story. I'm rooting for what we're all watching on the silver screen together. So the next time that you find yourself facing a scene you didn't expect, take a deep breath, feel the seat beneath you, steady, strong, and know that you have the power to stay present, to adapt, and to find meaning in whatever unfolds in your life's big screen. So thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for living. And thank you for sharing this feature presentation with me today. So until next time, be kind to your mind. And remember, even when you don't know how your story ends, you have the strength to see it through. To find more episodes of Calm It Down, see where I may be appearing in your area, or just simply want to know where to send me some chocolate chip cookies, visit calmitdownpodcast.com. This podcast was written and produced by yours truly, Chad Lawson, composer, pianist, and nationally recognized Sweet Tooth. The views, expressions, and techniques in this episode are of my personal opinion and not intended, nor should they, serve as a substitute for medical advice or diagnosis rendered to you by your individual doctor or other healthcare provider. Only a licensed physician should evaluate your situation, provide a diagnosis, or render other medical advice to you, and you should only act upon the advice of this physician. Now, I'm an extreme empath by nature, but my profession is that of a composer and pianist, not a licensed therapist or physician. I hear from thousands of listeners how my music has helped them through various stages of emotional needs, and I simply want to offer this in future podcast episodes to aid those needs. So to find a list of licensed professionals in your area, please visit calmitdownpodcast.com. And if you've enjoyed today's episode, please leave a review, or better yet, share it with a friend. While it takes less than 60 seconds to do, its impact will last for years to come, as every little bit helps in growing the awareness and the importance of mental and emotional health. Thank you for listening. Thank you for living. And until next time, be kind to your mind and join me again as we calm it down.